Hello, dear friends. Today we are back with a new topic. The topic is voice. Yes, dear friends, this topic is very essential for any kind of student, for any kind of learner as a part of preparing for the exams, be it board exam or any kind of competitive exams. So let us get started with this new topic. Yes, all of us do know that voice can be of two types. First one active voice, second one passive voice. Yes, generally students do know that there are two types of voice. But the problem is in the examinations, the questions are like they give in active voice and we need to change them into passive. Now, to change the active voice sentence into the passive voice is something very important. And to do that, we need to learn these basic rules. Basic rules to change a sentence from active voice to passive voice. We need to understand these fundamental rules. First basic rule, the subject in the active voice becomes object in the passive voice. So don't get confused. The subject in the active voice becomes object in the passive voice. And the object in the active voice becomes subject. Now you may wonder what is subject? Subject can be the names like Ram, Sita, John, and so on. It can be the pronouns like I, we, you, he, she, it, they. It can be animals. In other words, subject means the one or the thing which is doing the action. And object means like the receiver of that action. So the first rule, the subject in active voice becomes object in passive voice, and object in the active voice becomes subject in the passive voice. And also understand, generally and mostly subject will be at the starting of the sentence and object will be at the end of the sentence. This is some other general aspect. Second rule, while changing active voice into passive, know whether subject is singular or plural. It is very important. The subject is singular or plural, we must be able to identify. And the third rule, identify the tense. Like which tense does the sentence fall into? Like present tense, past tense, or future tense. And we need to be very aware regarding the use of the verb. Like it is like V1 or V2 or V3. And the fourth rule, very important. Always use V3 in passive voice. V3 means past participle. For example, break, broke, broken. Broken is V3, verb 3, past participle. So always use V3 in passive voice. Never V1, never V2, always V3. And very important rule, fifth one, always use by before object in passive voice. Always use by before object in passive voice. And the last rule, change of the pronouns. Change of the pronouns. So this will be like this. I will change into me, we, us, you, he, him, she, her, it, they, them. And in case they give these pronouns, like me will become I, us, we, you, him, he, her, she, it, them, they. If they give all this, change this one into this. If they give all this, change this one into this. That's all. These are the very fundamental rules while changing active voice into passive. Now based on these rules, we shall practice some of the statements, some of the. Yes, we have seen just now the basic rules of changing active voice into passive. Now, based on those rules, let's change these simple sentences. Now, read the sentence very carefully. See the first one, John writes stories. What is the subject? We need to identify what is the subject. John is subject. What is the object? Stories. Very good. What is the verb? Writes. Okay. First thing we need to do this. After doing this, remember the rules. What is the first rule? Subject becomes object, object becomes subject. So, stories. Stories is the object, so it should become subject. So, I'll put like this, stories. Okay, this object becomes here subject. So, stories singular or plural? Yes, it is plural. So, use are. Stories are. Stories object became here subject. Stories plural. Therefore, I use are. Now, you may ask me, why can't you use were? No, it is in the simple present tense. Therefore, we need to use are. Now, come to the verb. So, second rule is identify the verb, that is writes. It is in which form? V1, present verb. So, this one will change into V3. What is the V3 of writes? Write, wrote, written. Write, wrote, written. So, stories are written. Then what is the next rule? Use by. Then what is the subject? John. Then full stop. That's all. Okay. Subject became your object. Object became your subject. Stories plural, use are. Writes became V3 and use by before John. So this is in active voice and we have changed this one into passive voice. That's all. Then you get 1 mark, 1 point. So it's all very easy, but understand the sentence, the subject, the object, the tense, the verb. Then it becomes a cakewalk. See the second one. They break the glass. Again, what is the subject? They, subject, the glass, object, break, verb. And what now we have to apply that crosswork. It is all about that crosswork. The see crosswork. Stories became like this, and John became like that. So object becomes here subject. So write that the glass. Okay, the glass is singular or plural? Singular. So use is. The glass is. Then break, that is in used in which tense? Simple present tense, V1. But in passive voice, what is the rule? We have to use V3. Break, broke, broken. The glass is broken, use by, and they will change into them. So remember the change of pronouns. I, me, we, us, you, he, him, she, her, it, they, them. That's all. Now already we have done the first two. Now come to the third one. Vedansh is singing a song. In fact, these first two sentences, John writes stories, they break the glass, they come under simple present tense. And now we enter into the second tense, present continuous tense. See this, Vedansh is singing a song. What is our task? First identify the subject, Vedansh, object, a song, identify that singing main verb, then is we can say auxiliary or a helping verb. Now make subject here object, object here subject, apply the rules. Okay, then I change a song. A song is singular plural? Singular. So a song is, Then whenever we come to that continuous tense, like whenever there is ing form in the sentence, always use being. Always use being. A song is being. Singing, what is the third form of singing? V3. Sing, sang, sung. Okay, a song is being sung by who? Vedansh. Write his name. That's all. A song is being sung by Vedansh. Very good. Remember only one thing. Whenever the verb will end with ing form, singing, playing, dancing, writing, shouting, then use being before the main verb and after the auxiliary or helping verb. Remember this trick. See the next sentence, the fourth one. We are helping you. Actually, it is in present continuous tense. Now identify the subject. Subject we, object you, main verb, auxiliary verb. Okay, it is MV and HV. Now convert this object into subject, like you. You is singular, then it will come like you are. Then use being. You are being. Help, third form, helped. Then use by before the object. We will change into us. Remember these pronouns. We becomes us. So you are being helped by us. So active voice can be changed into passive voice by applying the previous rules. 6 rules. Change of the subject into object, object into subject. Always use V3. Third one, use by. And very importantly, identify the tense, identify the verb, identify the subject, singular or plural. Very good. Next one, Divina has made a call. What is the tense of this sentence? Present perfect. Okay, if you know the tense, very good. If you don't know, still you can do. How? By identifying the subject, by identifying the object, by knowing the main verb, by knowing the auxiliary verb, or I can say helping verb. Now apply that rule. What is the rule? Object becomes a subject, a call. Okay, a call. So we have to use has, a call, has. Then I use been. I will explain why I am using been. Make, made, made. Third form, made by Divina. Okay, that's all. A call. Use has because it is it form. Okay, then for present continuous we are using being. For the present perfect, okay, use been between the auxiliary verb and the main verb, between the helping verb and the principal verb. Like we use in continuous tense being between the helping and main verb, in the same way when it comes to present perfect tense, use been between has and made, between helping verb and the main verb. So okay, then it becomes an easy task for you. Easy task means something child's play, cakewalk. Okay, call has been made by Divina. And the sixth one, you have managed them. Subject you, them, object, main verb, helping verb. Now them will become they. And for they, what is the helping verb we have to use? Have, not has. Remember, have we use for I have, we have, you have, they have. In fact, dear students, already about this usage of is, was, are, do, does, have, has, I have explained in previous classes. Just check that video, subject, verb agreement, and also the shortcuts to find out the tenses. In those two videos, I have very clearly explained about the usage of these helping verbs regarding which pronoun. Now them will become they, have, use been, manage third form, managed by, you will become you only. So for you there is no change. So object became subject, they have, use been form between this, and use by, here subject became object, you will become you only. So already we have done with the basic three tenses. Understand this. Okay, understand. Simple present tense. Simple present tense. Present continuous is singing. Are helping present continuous. Has made present perfect. Have managed present perfect. Dear students, all that you need to understand is the basic rules, the tense, the verb, V3, by, singular or plural. Then you can play 20-20 match with this active and passive voice. Now let's see some of the shortcuts to find out the voice and change them into passive too. See dear friends, okay, the shortcuts to use in the passive voice. So in the simple present tense, okay, in this, because to know the voice, the active and passive voice, you need to be very thorough with the tenses, because tenses topic is the foundational topic for any kind of grammar aspect. This is the basic reason that I have made number of videos regarding tenses, starting from present tense ending with future tense. So kindly do watch them, understand them, and have the grip over that, so that you can excel so well regarding any kind of grammar topic. Now see these shortcuts. So whenever there is a sentence in simple present tense, then we can always use is or am or are plus v3. Okay, ismer plus v3 in simple present tense. In present continuous, ismer plus being plus v3. This is what I told. Okay, being before the main verb and after the helping verb. Whenever there is a sentence in present perfect, use have or has. Have for I, you, we, they. Has for he, she, it. Plus been plus v3. So before the main verb been and after this helping verb been. Like in this case same. In the present continuous being, in the present perfect been. Okay, and simple past use was or were plus v3. Past continuous was or were plus being, like present continuous plus v3. And past perfect had plus been plus v3, like present perfect. And simple future will or shall plus be plus v3. And last one, future perfect, will or shall plus have plus been plus v3. All this will be clear while we practice number of questions. Understand dear students, actually only 8 tenses can be changed into passive voice. These are the 8 tenses: simple present tense, okay, present continuous, present perfect, simple past, past continuous, past perfect, simple future, future perfect. So there is no change for future continuous, future perfect continuous tense, past perfect continuous tense, present perfect continuous tense. But all these tenses will have understanding depending upon the basic rules of English grammar, active voice and passive. Now based on these tricks, based on this, because these tricks must be there in your mind while changing active voice into passive. Now based on this, let's also practice some more questions to have the grip over this voice. See this one. Next one, she spoke the truth. Now what is the subject? Subject is she. What is the object? The truth. Spoke, verb. What is the tense of this sentence? Simple past. How do you know it is simple past? We are using here V2. V2 means verb 2. What is V2? Past verb. Speak, spoke, spoken. Now based on the rules which I have explained at the beginning of the class, let's change this active voice into passive voice. Okay, let's change this one into passive voice. How? Object becomes here subject, truth the truth. So I have to use is or was. I have to use was. Why was? Because it is in the past tense. It is in the simple past tense. How do you know simple past tense? Depending upon this verb. The truth was spoke, third form spoken, and use by before the object, and she will become here. That's all. The truth was because singular, because past tense, spoke third form spoken, used by, and she will become her. That's all. Very simple. Cakewalk. Next one. They killed the snakes. They subject, the snakes object, killed verb. Now how to change this one? The subject becomes here object, the snakes. So I have to use is or are or were or was. The snakes were. Why not are? No, it is in past tense. The verb is in past tense. V2 simple past. So the snakes were. And why can't I use was? Because it is plural. The snakes, the children, the books. For plural use were. The snakes were killed. Don't copy what is here, but use third form. Kill first form, killed second, killed also third. The snakes were killed. Them will change into by them. That's all. So the ninth one. John was teaching English. Very good. What is the subject? John. Object English. Main verb teaching. Helping verb was. Now change this one into passive voice. English. Then it becomes singular. So use was. Then before this main verb and after this auxiliary verb, there is one keyword which you need to remember. We have already used in the present continuous tense. What is that keyword? Being. Being. Teach third form thought. Okay. English was being taught by John. That's all. Okay. And 10th one. We were cooking the food. Subject we. The food. Object cooking. Main verb. Were helping verb. Now change this object into subject. The food. Okay. I have to use was or is. I will use was. Why was? Because it is in past continuous. Why can't you use were? No, it is singular. The food. The food. Okay. The food was. And what is the main word we have to use? Being. The food was being. Cooking third form. Cooked. Cooked by. We will change into us. That's all. The food was being cooked by us. And the 11th one. The teachers had supported the students. Students, that is plural. So it is in which tense? Past perfect tense. Okay, don't worry about the tense, but be aware. So identify the subject. Yes. Object students. Main verb supported. Had helping verb. So change this one into the students. The students. Plural. Yes, plural. Had. What is the keyword we have to use here before the helping verb? Sorry, before the main verb and after the helping verb? Been. Been. Remember that. We have already used in the present perfect tense. Been supported. supported by the teachers. Okay, the students had used been v3 supported by the teachers. Subject here object, object here subject, rest everything depending upon the rules. 12th one, she had welcomed the guest. Subject she, the guest, object welcomed, main verb, had helping verb. So it will be like the guest, it will be had, use been form, then welcomed by, she will become her. That's all. The guest had been welcomed by her. That's all. It's very cakewalk. Understand, for the present continuous, past continuous, use being. For the present perfect and past perfect, use been before the main verb. Now let's see some more sentences in the simple future tense and also future perfect, so that you get lot of clarity regarding the change of active voice into passive. Now see, dear students, I will help my mother. Subject I, my mother, object help, main verb, will, model. Now what is the tense of this sentence? Simple future. Okay, keep that tense aside and change this one into passive voice. How? Make this object into subject, my mother. My mother will be, help third form, helped by, I will change into me. That's all. My mother will be helped by me. So you have made object here subject, then models will be same. And remember, in the simple future tense, use be before this main verb and after this. Okay, then it will become very easy. Next one, Mohan will write a novel. Subject Mohan, a novel, object, main verb and model. Okay, auxiliary verb, a novel will be, right third form, written by Mohan. That's all. Okay, a novel will be written by Mohan. And see, we are getting closer. Gandhi will have served India. Which tense? Future perfect tense. Subject Gandhi, India object, served main verb, have helping verb, model. So make this object into subject, India will have plus been plus third one served by Gandhi. Very simple. Make this India here, model will plus have, and use been form between this have and main verb. Served third form, served by before subject, that is Gandhi, full stop. And the last one, you will have managed the class. Subject, object, main verb, helping verb, model. So the class will have been managed by him. That's all. Object, the class will have, just add been, that's all. Just add been before this main verb and after auxiliary. Then manage, same thing, use by, before that he will become him. That's all. Dear students, this active and passive voice very easy once you know the basic tenses, once you know the basic rules. So now let's see once again the rules for changing active voice into passive. Yes. First rule, subject becomes object, object becomes subject. So after having seen so many sentences, you must be aware now how to identify the subject. Subject here object, object here subject. Know the subject is singular plural. If it is child, child is. If it is children, children are. Pen is, pens are. Identify the tense, present tense or past tense. Identify the verb to identify the tense. Use always V3 in passive voice, yes we have been using. Use by before the object in passive voice, yes we have been doing. And very important rule, I will become me, we us, you he him, she her, it they them. Once you know this, it will help you a lot. And also we have seen some more rules. Now let's see them once again before we bind off the class. See this shortcuts. Okay, in simple present tense, all this will be appearing is or V3. Being, okay, remember being here, present continuous, past continuous, being. Okay, present perfect, been. Okay, and also in past perfect, been. Okay, been, present perfect, past perfect, been, and also future perfect, been, where before the V3 and after auxiliary. In the same thing dear students, present continuous being, past continuous being, where before V3 and after the auxiliary verbs. Okay, and what else is there? Yes, in simple future always use be before V3 and after modals will or shall. And with this you'll be able to crack or solve any kind of active voice changing into passive. So today dear students, whatever we have done is just a kind of basic. We have done the basic rules of changing active voice into passive voice, and we have seen some of the assertive sentences in simple present, present continuous, present perfect, simple past, past continuous, past perfect, simple future, and also future perfect. In each tense, we have just seen two examples based on the statements. They are called assertive sentences. They are called declarative sentences. And stay tuned because in the very next class, I am going to show or explain or describe how to change active voice into passive voice whenever there are questions. Questions like who has broken the glass? How to change? How to change? Why did you beat him? How to change into passive? Did you do homework? How to change? Have you married her? How to change? All this will be discussed in the very next class, so stay tuned. Till then, kindly watch all the videos, comment in the box, and also be thorough with the basic rules. So stay happy, stay healthy. Bye everyone.